Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. This is Gnarlo here. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good boy, when last we left off, we were finishing up Book 12, The Ashen Wastes. And we were starting Book 13, The Doom of the Last King. We had, let's take a look at our deeds here right quick. Oops. Not legendary items, wrong one, it's not I, it's L, there we go. The deed log, we're deep in the Shadows of Angmar Part 2, as you see we've got 3 more books to go. The Doom of the Last King is the one we're starting, 13, 14, and 15 here. So fantastic. When we left off on Chapter 2, The Snowmen of Forochel. And it says, the last homely house is fast becoming a prison to me. We were speaking to Lairdan. I do not feel welcome here, yet on the other hand, I do not feel right leaving just yet. I fear if I leave these halls, I will never return. It says, perhaps you would take up my search until such time as I can leave here in good conscience. I know a dwarf who trades in the southern reaches of Forochel. He might give you some insight where to begin the search. You can find Dothy at Kapakota in Tar Orthon. He knows more about Forochel, if such can be said about anyone, than I. So as you see, we're far in the frozen north. Let's pull up our map. We are the far southern edge of Forochel here, right at the beginning little city, the beginning little town, Kapakota. Which y'all have known we've traveled here once before. And I think maybe we've actually gone to Surikaila. I'm not sure. But I think we might have traveled there in the past as well. But we have definitely been down here. If you remember, we were off over in that direction hunting the winter wolves and stuff that live around in this area. Around the frozen wastes here. So I see a dwarf right over here wandering about with a little ring over his head. And he looks like his name is Dothy. So we will go and speak to him. But here's Forochel. As you see, we are at the far northern end of Eriador. So we have left Angmar, traveled all the way back around, and we are now up here in the icy waste as opposed to the blighted, heated wastes. Let's go speak to Dothy. See what he has to say.
By my father, this is a sad day.
Ho there! You say you come from Lairdan the Elf. Aye, he was here some time ago, seeking a lost ring or some such, but to no avail. Can you imagine hunting for a ring in the snows of Forochel? Nevertheless, his quest may not have been as foolhardy as I first believed, for men out of Angmar have moved through the region, and with them others that I've never seen before. They reminded me of the men of Gondor, but stranger. They seek something here as well, and it may be that your quests are related. If you wish to find your lost ring, you must speak with the snowmen, the Losseth, who call themselves the Lumivaki. This is their land, and they know it better than anyone. I suggest that you speak with Lassie at Surikaila, for he knows best the mind of their chieftain. Alright, so we are going to go speak to Lassie at Surikaila. And let us pull up. So what I thought, Surikaila is way up there. That's the northernmost town. And we will go talk to the stable master and see if we have a ride up there or not. Let us go ahead and, get our fingers on the right keys to start with. And then see what the stable master has to say. I'm not sure. Not 100% sure if I've ever ridden through here.
Are you well today?
And good. Well, we don't have a ride anyway. We've got to be probably, what, acquaintance standing? Probably, maybe acquaintance standing, maybe we just haven't discovered it yet. So if we haven't discovered it yet, we definitely have not been up there yet. So let's mount up. We are going to head on up that way. I hope everyone's having a good one. I'm trying to get a few up a little bit more often than the once a week that I've been doing. Like I said, I can't promise anything, but that is what I'm trying to do. I'm actually shouldn't be awake right now. I was working and worked the last 2 days. Supposed to work again this coming day, but Having a very interesting time with my stomach, so I had to call in sick. So I am actually sitting here doing this on a sick day. So, hey, am I feeling like someone twisting a knife in my gut has given y'all a extra and slightly earlier episode of LOTRO here. Enjoy. Alright, this may be about as far as we went last time, because I do remember coming here, if you remember, right over there. See the Sylvan Silent Paws. You remember we were killing those wolves over there, and we had to kill a den mother. And she was up in that area too. I'll see. If I get the chance, I'll look back in all the episodes, the 250 or so episodes, and I'll see if I can find which one we were last up here. But that was about as far as we went. We were just here on this southern extent, along the edges of this lake here. Oops, wrong one right there. So you see, we've just come around the corner of the lake. We are going to travel all the way around this way now, through the Jakura, the icy canyons, all the way up to Itama, and then Jaranit, and then Surikaila. So on up this way it is. I do hope everyone has been having a good one. I know I've been enjoying myself. Other than the stomach problems, work has been quite busy. And the kind of busy that while it may not make the night enjoyable, it has definitely made the shift go flying by. Speaking of which, Hobnanigans is on. When you log in right now, you'll see that Hobnanigans, or Chicken Ball, is currently taking place. Everybody should know they should get a message when you log in. They'll give you a map to get to the Hobnanigans field. Map to get to the Chicken Ball field. Let's pop on out. And as you know, the Chicken Ball field, they play Chicken Ball right up here in the, where are we at? Right up here in the festival fields of Breeland. So that you know where we are. As you see, we're starting to approach Jakura. Once again, it's been a while since we were up here. I think the last time we were here, those wolves back there that you saw were at least green to us, if not light blue. And of course, everything, especially down at this end now, is all gray to us again, as we ride through here with our 55 level bad self. We're just going to keep following these little towers here. Ride down into the icy canyons. Various places to go. You want to hang a right here. Basically, just try to keep heading to the north as much as you can when you come to these turns and stuff. Any of these little valleys or places that lead off to the side, just keep trying to follow the northward route. And it'll be the one right up here that has the darker ice. As apparently, I guess we're probably crossing a frozen river. I think that's the situation here. It looks like that's supposed to be frozen water underneath us. And you'll follow the little markers of the, is it Vatikota? Is that what they call themselves? Let's try and get their name right here. So history, the Kapakota. I've already done this one. What the hey? Ah, there we go. There's the Dathi part. And he does not rename them again. Something, there's Vati in there somewhere. I don't know if it's the Vati is the first part or the last part. You get all these. If I tell you, if Elvish, trying to remember Elven names for places is bad enough, and then you get into these areas like Angmar and with the Hillmen, and this area up here in Forochel, you know, different each area. And as we go, once we get through Moria and move south along the Great River and Dunland and all, they're the areas in there where the men have these strange names, and it seems like they're all kind of related to each other because all the names are kind of form the same kind of structure. There's always a prefix, a hyphen, and then a suffix. And they are so hard to keep track of. All these kotas and vatis and learning all the Elvish was bad enough as we travel through the howling ice cave. But at least I've been reading the Elvish for almost 40 years now, so I've got a kind of a general idea of the names. Will stick into my head a bit. See, we're coming in the Itama. We have traveled through the ice canyon and through the ice cave. And we have come out the other side of Jakura here, headed to Itama, which is one of the outposts right there at the crossroad. Remember the first time I ever came up in these wastes, a long time ago, and these creatures were all yellow and red. That was an interesting Interesting passage, let me say, back then with my traveling up here with my dwarf. Much easier go of it this time. I can't remember if there's a stable up here or not. We will take a look. I'm thinking there should be. But we would definitely take a look. And if there is one, whoops, wrong one. That's just kind of a longhouse outpost. I am happy though, like I said, when Turbine went with this is kind of a race. You've seen them on their sleds and with their mammoth beast of burden and kind of their reindeer and stuff like that. It is nice to see that they kind of based it more on, let's say, the Nordic areas. You know, they could have easily gone with the cliche and made them a bunch of Vikings up here. You know, it could have been all a bunch of Danes and Vikings with the Viking culture and that sort of stuff. But this is much more of a, think of the Finns and stuff like that. With the Finns and the Norse, I'm thinking Norwegian type of, you know, the snow people with the reindeer and the yurt tents and all that, rather than the longhouses and the Viking ships and the Viking attitude, which is essentially what you get in Rohan, of course. They are very much the Viking type of people of Middle-earth. In fact, I believe they've said in the past, Tolkien may have said it was Vikings with horses, perhaps. There's
Welcome
our
to
stable master.
Leviras.
We now have the Ostforad stable master, as we have arrived right here at the crossroads of Itamar. We are going to travel on up to the northeast then. And the way out of here, you come back out here, and then you actually turn this way, right past the gates. Keep following the road to the north. Very icy waste. We were wondering how they were going to handle it after having seen the Misty Mountains. Was it just going to be kind of a copy of the Misty Mountains and all? But no, it's not. They actually treated things far differently up here, where the Misty Mountains were far more mountains. These are far more, they look almost like, you see the kind of bluish color through there. They're almost like big icebergs that have been locked into place or something. Give almost that appearance. You see the bay way off there in the distance that we will come across. Wow, there's something that's green there. We're actually getting into creatures that could give us a little bit of an experience, if not giving us a little bit of a fight. Like it's going to be mostly another travelogue episode today as we travel up through the icy wastes here. But even with an area like this that is mostly all snow and ice, at least they did keep it varied a bit. You know, you've got your snowy plains, and then you've got your mountain areas, and you saw back there you've got your icy canyons. You got your different areas of beasts and monsters that you come across, mobs that you come across. You know, on this side you've mostly got the big snow bears and stuff. Further north we'll start running into the ice worms. Over on the other side has its you'll see Garadan, the northern cousins. In fact, the northern group are the ones that have ended up in Evendem. You remember in Evendem, the wild men, the Garadan, that dress in wolf skins and stuff like that, and run around on all fours with claws on their hands. This is actually the area that they seem to have come from. We're going to take a look over the edge here right quick. There's the Ice Bay of Forochel here that we are looking down on. So you see where we have traveled. We're right there. We're seeing the southern end of the Ice Bay here, which is at the very, very top of the map. Those of y'all familiar with maps of Middle-earth will obviously recognize this very, very well. And we're right up here at this northern bay that has always appeared on the maps, but never really got very much of a play in the books themselves, other than talk about the last king, Arvidu, who fled this way after the fall of Arthedain, the fall of the northern kingdom of Arnor, when it was finally defeated and overthrown by the forces of Angmar, the Witch King and all. He traveled far up here to the north, took refuge with these people, and it was up here in that ice bay that you saw that he met his doom. His ship was caught in the grinding ice and sunk, and he and his companions with him were lost out there in the waters. And this is where we have come to try and find where the second half of the ring Narchuil might be. At Laerdan's request. Seeing he appears to be thinking of making the very rash and foolish decision to leave Rivendell and for probably the last time and continue on his quest to finding the other half of the ring. I could say rash and foolish. It's probably rash and foolish for an elf. I don't know if we would consider it rash, as rash to me implies, you know, hasty and not thought out very much, which in terms of elfdom is probably true, but in terms of us mortals, he's been doing this rash event for many, many lives of men now. Remember, Sarah Oakhart was the last of a very long, the real Sarah Oakhart was the end of a long line of jailers slash caretakers of his daughter. Whenever she was when he was trying to cast the spirit of Amarthael out of her. The real Sarah Oakhart was the last of her caretakers and the last of a long line of mortal caretakers. So yes, rash in elven terms, but long and tragic history in mortal terms. We are coming up here. We'll soon be seeing. Is it Kailakota? Surikaila. Now, shortcut will be just to cut straight across here, but we're going to follow the path. We're going to keep following the path, just because this is the direction it goes, just to show you where it is. Any future travels, I've always cut across and avoid this little loop that turns around this way, but at least this how we get out here. And I think we've remembered to talk to you before when we were there. This water is icy. It will kill you. Think of the green pools of acid slime stuff that we saw in Angmar. Well, these will kill you just as fast. These are pools of icy water near... In fact, it's salt water because this is the ocean here. This is the bay on the northernmost inlet of the Great Ocean, so it's salt water, so it's actually far colder than freezing should be, because of course salt makes water freeze at a lower temperature. So it will kill you quick. Alright, see, we are coming up the gateway here. That looks like a skirmish camp maybe over there. Is that a skirmish camp? Is that where the skirmish... It is indeed. Look at those flags. So this is the skirmish camp up here. I don't think I've ever been up here since the whole skirmish system came in the game, so I wasn't sure where the camp was, but there you go. Discovered that. This, of course, is the rally ring, should you get defeated and have to resurrect. Careful with that sled there, man. They'll give any drunken fool a license up here, won't they? Alright, we have crossed into Surikaila. And we are going to grab the stable master here.
Greetings, Etela Viras.
Okay. Yet another stable master. So let's take a look at where we are. Oops. That's if I push Alt and not M, M and not Alt. You see, we have arrived all the way up here. We've just grabbed the stable master here, so we are at the northernmost outpost of the snowmen. Now we are looking for someone named Lassie. I did not see him out here. Don't see any bright flaming circles on my map or anything. So I am thinking that he may very well be inside the big chieftain's hut, way up the hill here. So that is where we are going to travel. Up to the largest one of these, are these yurts? Perhaps. These leather coated tents here. I think these will qualify as being called yurts or something very close to it. You see lots and lots of quests about. We're going to continue traveling deeper into the town. And then on up the hill to the great tent of the chieftains here. There's Lassie. Right out here with the free peoples.
The ice storms are terrible this season.
You are a stranger here, a hobbit from the south. We do not see too many of your kind, and we welcome even fewer. Yes, they are just like the natives of Angmar. They are not a very trusting race.
A rich king's hand stretches out to us from the past.
Of course, they've not had a lot to be trusting for. Chapter 3, Favor of the Chieftain. We remember this Vani Vaki you speak of, this Lairdan. He came to the Lumivaki seeking a lost ring. It was a foolish thing, looking for a bauble in these lands. You should not be so foolish. The Vani Vaki did not have the favor of Iryana and barely escaped with his life from the dangers that we face here. Without the help of the Lumivaki, you would have no hope of finding your ring. And you will not have the help of the Lumivaki without the favor of Iryana. If you wish to gain our chieftain's favor, you must perform 3 tasks for the Lumivaki. Only then may you speak with Iryana. If you wish to learn of these tasks, speak with me again. So we are going to have to acquire the favor of strength, the favor of endurance, and the favor of wisdom. All right, let us speak to him once more. Let's see, Chapter 3, the favor of endurance.
Shadows fall upon us out of Angmar.
Sini may have a task for you to perform. You may find her on the outskirts of Surikaila. All right, let's see if he'll give us all 3. The favor of strength.
There are terrible things in the waste, Etele Viras.
Seek out Amelie across from the Steam Lodge. She may have a task for you to perform that will help you obtain Iryana's favor. And the third part of the chapter, the third part of our quest, Favor of
There
Wisdom.
are terrible things in the waste, Eteleviras.
If you wish to win the favor of Iryana, you should speak with Jalmari at Surikaila near to the Steam Lodge. He will guide you on your path. Okay, there we go. It's been about 25 minutes here, so we will call that an episode. We will get up another one later. Hopefully have one ready to go tomorrow morning. Like I said, I won't be going to work, so with that stomach's cramping right now, I am not going to be doing much strenuous activities other than sitting in front of a computer screen here, probably. So we'll call that an episode. Thank you for coming along with me on our journey way up here to the frozen norths, as we start to court the favor of the snowmen, favor of the northern people here, as we sit and have a smoke and look out across the frozen bay and chill off our little tootsies. So thank you very much. Appreciate you watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.